Aloha everyone, welcome to Storycraft Studio. So today we're going to be doing another speed paint in traditional art. This one is going to work better than the last one because I actually have it in frame this time. I learned my mistakes from the previous video, so you can actually see what I'm drawing. If it weren't for the fact that it's an orange. You can't. I like to sketch with light colors when I'm building the figure, and then do darker ones to flesh in the tones, and then erase it and use pencil to finish it off. But so anyway, while I'm building the figure, we'll discuss two things. One, obviously you can tell my hands are in a weird state. That's a weird way of putting it. I have some joint issues in my hands, so I'm wearing compression gloves to kind of help them. It's not like arthritis or anything, but it will be someday. I've just accepted this fact. But yeah, if you guys have hand paint, I definitely recommend getting compression gloves because it helps a lot. Either after I've already got the paint has already started, it really helps cut down the time to recover. And if you know what's going to happen, it also helps limit it. I also use compression gloves for when I'm doing digital art because I use a touchscreen, and it helps block it out. Sometimes it doesn't when I've been wearing gloves for a while, but otherwise. On my other hand, I scraped my fingers using my other hand. Some of us are just clumsy enough to cut ourselves with our own fingernails. But so yeah, if you were wondering about that, just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyway, back to the drawing. In the orange, I've finished building most of the sketch. Mostly I'm doing my stupid hair. It's a wild mess right now, and it keeps getting in the way. That was the fashion sketches I'm using to reference for what the outfits look like, which I'm filling in now with this blue pencil. Which, about the outfit, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I posted these fashion boards for Mermay, and this is one of the boards. I don't use most of this in the end, but this is where I started and got my ideas from. These are all just little things I've collected over time of references of I want to draw this, I want to have that there, and so I put them together into this illustration. And yeah, there's not much else to say about that. I'm building in the skirt now, and I make this design very flowy and airy. I think it's probably why it's one of my favorite designs for this project. But yeah, this is what I decided to do for Mermay, because you know. In previous years, I've done just one bigger project to do for this, but I decided to do these illustrations because I'm also reminding myself that why I like to draw is I realized that I'm not very good at action poses and expressions, but my favorite part of any drawing is coming up with the clothes, because I love fashion illustration. Designing characters is fun, but the building the clothes is what I have the most fun with. Which is why one of my real life jobs is I do costuming at the theater, which I know I've mentioned often. It's a big part of my life. It's a really big creative outlet, and I get to meet lots of interesting people who are having fun, which you always want to meet people when they're having fun. And so fashion is a thing I'm really into, and I have a lot of fun. It's also where I learned to draw. I took a fashion sketching class with a friend, and in that class they really broke down proportions of the size of your hand compared to your head in comparison to your proportions, and that's how I figured out how to draw, because I could not understand proportions. No one really talks about that when you're in the beginning drawing classes, but that's what you need to figure it all out. So yeah, that's how I learned to draw, is a fashion sketching class. So I've decided recently I'm going to try to get back more into the fashion aspect. So these illustrations that I'm doing for this month are fashion illustrations. And right now I'm using a pencil to do the lines. I have some brush pens which I like using. Well, I don't like using them right now. I'm not very good with them, but I like the lines they produce and the feeling of it. I just need to practice more because it's very difficult with my trimmer. It telegraphs all the trimmers I have, which I hate, but I'm gonna get better. But for this, I thought the softer look of the pencil would be nice. And it does look really nice. And it makes it so it's the main illustration, I need to come up with scripts for these. I know, it's terrible, but the pencil gives it a soft look and makes it more about the colors I put on instead of the boldness of the lines. And I also feel I'm much more comfortable with the pencil than any kind of ink. I feel less nervous about it because I can erase any kind of problems I have, and so I get much better line art in my own opinion. First, that's when I'm drawing, that's the opinion that matters, is that I can live with what I've drawn. But so, yeah. Right now, I'm filling in the tentacles. Yes, the tentacles. It's Mermay. It's Mermay, and I open up with a Octopus-inspired dress, but I have had this dress in my files for the longest time, and I love it. I would probably wear this dress all the time, unironically, in the shop I work at. This is my other real life job, is I work at a, I call it a curiosity shop. It's called Whaler's Locker, and it's got all sorts of stuff from the sea, and fossils, and gems, and a lot of amber jewelry, and scrimshaw knives, and it's a curiosity shop. It's just really, really fun. And we are definitely harp on the water theme and the sharks and such. My desk has it's just a painted piece of plywood, so I was realizing there was some texture going in, and I wasn't liking that. I was thinking that I would just do color pencil. I changed my mind later, and you'll see it works out really well, but at the time I couldn't stand it, so I got a piece of paper to go under. And Posca pen to do the details that are going to get lost in the black. Works really, really well. That's always something you should keep in mind when you're working with solid black, is that white lines on solid black to do the details works really, really well. I use the Posca pen a lot to pull out details of where seams are, the stitching on the side, and then some really nice details later on, which I will talk about when we get there. But yeah, so I work in a shop with curiosities. I would wear this dress, and I would love every second of it because it looks like a really comfortable dress. I will totally admit it's a Instagram ad that it's something I had in my files, and I knew I wanted to draw it someday, so I decided this is the day. Well, not today. That would be cutting it too fine. I'm not fast enough to do a project and then edit and post it in the same day. I know people can, but I can't. But yeah, so this is me filling in the tentacles. I realized pretty quickly when I was looking at the tentacles and stuff that I needed to put them inside the dress. They're not in the original image for obvious reasons, but I thought it would look really, it needed it. It needed it really badly, because otherwise it was just gonna be white inside, and that was no good, or black, and it was just nah. I could have put color, but I like the fact that the dress is just black and white. I used some teal. I used teal somewhere else, and I decided to use it to add some shading that I didn't end up working. But here is where the something interesting. I get rid of the texture. These are These are watercolor pencils. I have, even before I got into doll art, I had like 2 sets of these for some reason. I don't know why. It's just what we had in the house, and I decided this time to use that characteristic of them, and there was just gonna be shading, but then I started doing it. It smoothed it out beautifully. So I'm probably gonna do this a lot more. I want to do more of these kind of fashion illustrations, and then when I do these blocks of flat color, I'm gonna do this. I also use some not flat color later. We'll get to that when it happens, but yeah, I just take a brush, water it down, and then move around the pigments, and it gives it this wonderful flat look. I wish you guys should see this drawing in person, because it looks good on the screen, but some of the things I use, it's really, it's better in person. It's better in person. And yeah, so I finished off filling in the black. Now I'm using the white to clean up lines and put in the seams. And is this where I do the crazy thing? I don't know yet. But yeah, it's just remarking the lines. And then just, it's a lot of back and forth, trying to clean it out, get it here, get it there. And yeah, I also have I have a set of really cool metallic color pencils. These are just normal color pencils. And I'm using them to add some detail lines to her really crazy, voluminous, I don't know what I was thinking, hair. And then, this is the fun part. I have, I use color shift a lot in my dolls because I love it. Whenever I can use color shift, I do. And I got this new thing called Dragonfly Glaze. And I decided to use it here. So I'm just adding a little more detail in before I go in with the colors. I use Aqua Flash, and let me see. It went by so fast. Now it's been long enough I forget. I think it's gold, red, violet. Dragonfly Flash, because they go through colors, which looks really pretty. But I use that to do the boots and the shawl. They're supposed to be in the original reference you saw that it was the shawl is a holographic sequin, so that's what I do with the boots, and the shawl is that they're holographic sequins, and that's how I represent it. And then I use the Aqua Flash to do her eyes, her lipstick, and her necklace. I put in the Dragonfly Glaze to do her eyeliner. Why? Eyeshadow. Why did that word escape me? Eyeshadow and blush. And then here I'm going in with the Aqua Flash to do her hair. And that's the big idea I had for the Aqua Flash, was to do this bold burst of color in her hair. And it looks so good. Oh my goodness. You're seeing it happen, and it's amazing. I'm so happy with it. I'm gonna let you just watch the magic happen, because it is honestly magical to me. I hope it is to you. And with it all filled, you'll now get to I'm sorry, but I just love how shimmery and pretty it is, because all that glitter in the pigment, just it's magical in person. Here I'm going in with white to add in some highlights, which in person it's a little ridiculous because it just glimmers so beautifully, but you can see it makes a difference in the flat when it's viewed flat. But here is where I add a really wonderful detail, as I take the Posca pen and put in little white suckers on the tentacles. It was a little tricky figuring it out and getting the spacing right, because tentacles have 2 rows of suckers, but that would be not fit all the way to the end. So I kind of worked around, figured it out, and it takes them from these weird tendrils to tentacles, and it looks so good. I'm just so happy, and this is basically done. I'm just adding another layer of the glaze to get a little more shine, and then I go back a little later on, really soon, and add, oh, dang it, you can't see it, it's off screen, but I decided to make her heel the teal, just because I thought it'd be cool, and it does take a little bit of the color and bring it down low to help balance it out. But here you can see me adding another layer to the back pieces, which makes it darker when it's flat. It makes it extra shiny when it's reflecting, but yeah, it's super pretty. And this is basically done. I'm just cleaning up some edges with the white Posca pen, and then we're gonna see. I need to stop talking when I have nothing to say. Here, it's finished, it's dry, and I'm just kind of moving it around so you can see the reflection. It's so pretty! Oh, I can't stand it. Okay. Mahalo for watching, guys. I hope you had fun. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out some other videos. Aloha!